All right, good morning, cyber traders, and happy Tuesday, everyone, on the 2nd of February. Good to see you, Michael. Buongiorno, Andreo. Good to see everybody. Welcome back, everyone on social media. So we're getting a nice little push in the market. Palantir came out with earnings yesterday. They obviously blew them out of the water. We've been a huge fan of Palantir for a long time, but we've been ignoring it. We've been ignoring it because it hasn't gone anywhere. You can look here on the long-term chart. This stock has gone nowhere. I am super disappointed in myself because this had some lot of support levels at 145, lot of supports, even here right here 150. So you could see how the stock basically how it builds support levels going all the way back up until July, and then it went up. But don't worry about it. Listen, there's so many stocks out there, to trade. And, even silver made a big comeback. A bunch of them made a comeback. Some took some big hits. And you know what? I always tell everybody, everyone's going to miss the run on certain stocks. You're just going to miss them and like, oh, I wish I bought that stock, or, whatever. And all of a sudden, like, oh my God, I could buy it now at this price. So this is just a learning situation. Now, I did a video last night. I want to start coming out with a beginner series of short videos for everyone for beginners. There are a lot of people here on social media that are watching, and and I know some of you here that are new here to Cyber Trade University. And I always find that people that educate, unless you coach them and do one-on-one, you never realize how uneducated people are. Not in a bad way. It's just, if they don't ask questions, if they just sitting there and just listening to, no matter how much you think they need to learn something, it's never going to come off where they're going to grasp it. Like, I'll give you an example. I was just at the Moo office in Toronto, and I was talking to somebody, and crazy enough, he really didn't understand, and he was embarrassed to say it. He really didn't understand the concept of the bid and ask. He just don't understand, like, how do you know what a real bid is? And I'm like, what do you mean what a real bid is? And I had to use certain metaphors, stuff like that. And that's why in our training programs, we always start with phase 1, 2, and 3. I know everyone who comes out, they say, hey, I want to jump to, I already know this stuff. You know what? Prove me wrong, but chances are you probably don't. But today is phase 3 classes, by the way, just to remind everyone. And, so looking forward to seeing you guys in the class in phase 3. But getting back to it, these are things that when you hear every day, you just learn from it. And remember what I always said, and on a video, I said it also last night. Rich, if you could just post a link up there, so on a YouTube video, so people could like it and leave a comment, share it. It's also on Instagram, TikTok, and everything else. But I'm going to come out with this series with a beginner series for all of you. This one was specifically talking about what we do every morning, okay? And that's working off the big percentage gainers and losers. So I think that was probably the most important thing to cover, because everyone's always asking, where do you find these stocks? Oh, I missed this earnings, missed that earnings. And we're going to show you the list of earnings. But listen, they're there every day. And, just like we're going to go here in the big percentage gainers list right here, we're going to work our way down that list. But before I do that and go through that list, and show you what is, which one we're going to trade and which one we're not, let's talk about what happened yesterday, because there were a few stocks that did make some big moves yesterday. GameStop was one of them. GameStop's been on a really good move lately, $20 to $25. That one's doing pretty well. UMAY, that one has also been, you could see there in the bottom right, kind of test some big support levels around $7.50. It's starting to go back after coming back down from $12. That one's doing pretty well. Robinhood's been taking a very big hit. I know everyone was a fan of Robinhood. You missed the boat. Let me just bring this chart up here, the long-term chart. Robinhood had such a great run-up going all the way from April from $35 to $150. Listen, there's going to be a buying opportunity. Don't feel like you missed out. And if you subscribe to the channel, or you're a trader here and you're a student, you're going to get the opportunity, okay? What else that we had that did? There was just a lot of them out there. Intel did pretty well. INTC did pretty well. And Intel, once again, another stock that did take a big correction here, all the way up to 55, went all the way back down to 40, tested support levels, and went right back up. And remember, one of the big things we show you here at Cybertrain University is basically seeing order flow. All right. Pre-announcements heavy on volume time. We're going to look at that too. Yes. But they're all piggybacking on the Palantir news. Now, let me just show you really quick here. For everyone here wants to know what the earnings that are coming out. Here's the earnings that we're going to be looking at. So we got Palantir that came out yesterday. You had PayPal that came out this morning. I know they came out with news. They got a new CEO, but PayPal, back in COVID, the thing was at 300s. Now it's back in the 40s. That one's taking a big hit, but that's not really stocks with trading. We're going to be focused this afternoon. We got AMD, we got supercomputers, Amgen. These are the main two. AMD is a really big one. Those and supercomputers. Tomorrow, things are going to get interesting. Got Uber, you got Eli Lilly. We trade those stocks also. We don't really trade any of these, but Google, we do keep an eye on. I think Google's going to come out with good earnings. I really do. Quantum, pretty big company. Snapchat, once in a while, we do trade that one here and there. And then we got on Thursday, the afternoon, Amazon's going to be a huge one. Roblox, been taking a very big hit lately, and we're going to keep an eye on that. And that pretty much does it. So it is a very, very big week for earnings. Okay, now let's go over the watch list. Now, if you're looking at big percentage gainers, because Palantir had good earnings, I swear I didn't realize. Well, actually, let me take that back. I didn't know Palantir had that many ETFs. And you know that a lot of us here probably didn't realize that, but there's been a lot of good stocks with a lot of ETFs. And you could see right here, number 5, Palantir, PLTR. If you don't have to trade the main stock of Palantir, you could always trade the ETFs. Remember, they go up twice as fast, but they also go to twice as low. But you had PLTU that had a big move. Look at all these stocks. These are all ETFs, okay? Palantir, this stock was at 125. It was at 50. Nice big move, up 22%. You had PLTG. You had PLTY. I think they have a high yield too. There were a lot of those stocks out there that did really, really well. Now, I'm going to probably stay away from some of them right now because there are stocks that do have some better moves this morning. A lot of you are looking at the one stock that we did focus on, which was Nuke. Nuke just made a little bit of a move. A big buyer just showed up right here. Let me just show you right there. There was a big buyer just showed up right here on Nuke. Nuke's been a really good stock right here, a nice stock for us. NUKK. I am going to put Palantir PLTR, but I'm not going to put all the Palantir ETFs. That's why you got to be here every morning. We already showed you where to find them. We could still probably trade them. I might consider maybe looking at the PLTU or anything else, but just be very careful. They are on the expensive side. They move a little quickly. We want to try to risk the least amount of money as possible with the higher amount of reward. Yes, Lynn, we're going to go through to silver. Silver and gold are making a big comeback. Silver was also a really good buy yesterday. If anyone saw it right there, everyone's like, I missed a run on silver. Guess what? Great crash on Friday. Nice little recover on Tuesday. Okay. So silver's back on the watch list, SLV. Now, if you watch the video that I did on silver on Monday, I'm not going to say I'm a genius. Okay. But I'm going to put a feather on my cap because it was all about the orders. Once again, it was that order that made that stock run. And that's what we need to focus on. All right. That little order right there. So silver did really, really, really well. And we're obviously going to have that in the watch list. Is it a buy again? We'll check out the iceberg orders out there. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how it goes. But even at 79, I mean, you got resistance levels here around 80, 80, right around that 84. But we're almost there. We'll see how the orders go. By the way, the Nuke, I see orders getting filled right now on the bottom. I'm probably going to pass on that. These other big stocks right here are making some pretty good volatility too. FATN, which let me look at the orders out here and see where they are. FATN. See where the iceberg orders are. Right around here, around 321, 318, I'm seeing. So it looks like we're holding right there. I'll show you right here. We can see some orders out there. There's some orders. Bigger ones over here, more in the 370, 350. Okay. Nice cheap stock, good price level, not bad. This one's on the downtrend. I kind of scrapped this one. This one, I know you guys found it at 8 o'clock this morning, but this was just a complete chaos stock. This is why we always wait the first 5 minutes to see what happens with this one. This one put on the watch list, the GXAI. Got a good pop. It's kind of building support levels right here. Big iceberg order just showed up at $2. Okay, for about 77,000. I'm seeing that right now. So if anyone here is level 3, you're probably seeing it. So right now we're at 170. That's a pretty big order. That's the biggest one all day. So it's got to get through that first. All right, what else we got in here that's moving? Big volume on this CYN. The stock was a huge run up, crashed down. It's kind of holding here. Could put this on the B list. CYN. These are all garbage. I'm not really seeing anything in there. Ooh, Wolf is moving again. WULF. We trade that stock many of times. It's getting close to resistance levels, but this one obviously looking pretty good. Looks like it came out with earnings. It was an earnings play. WULF. Woof. We played that many of times. There's Palantir right there. You can see it already made the biggest percentage gainers. Losers. What we got going on here? Is this a pharmaceutical stock? My God, this thing got hammered. Can we get a dead cat bounce? I don't know, but it's trading a lot of buying. I'll put it on the B list. MAMO. You know I love stocks that get destroyed. This is PayPal. So that's the ETF for that one. PAPL. There's there's PayPal right there. So that's the earnings on PayPal. Took a very big hit right there. We're not going to listen. Wow, this thing just broke 52-week lows. You could see it right here. I just want to show you PayPal really quick. This stock was really, really big back during COVID. You can see the stock is getting crushed. It just broke through that big major support levels. And you got to go back, way back, to find any support levels here. We're getting pretty close. Right around here. Back in 2016. Wow. No wonder why they changed the CEO. That stock is not doing good. I'm going to put it on the watch list. PYPO. It could be, an investment down the road. We'll keep an eye on it. Always looking for good deals. Always like to buy that nice exotic car that nobody wanted. Maybe later it might come back. You never know. These are all pro share. I went through this. I didn't see anything in here in the New York Stock Exchange. Fubo TV. Wow. Remember we traded that thing? Thank God we got out of that stock. Wow. Just a matter of time. All of a sudden you forget about it and boom. Forget about Fubo. That thing is one and gone and done. All right. Let's get ready for the market. Open up, everyone. Anything I'm missing I did not call out? Anything else? Okay. So I'll put it in the alerts. I'll put it on our X. We'll put it on our Telegram. If you're watching on social media, here's the QR code. If you guys want to join our trading floor, take the phone, scan that QR code. We're here all day long commentary. Just don't join us at 9 and at 2:30, during Traders Talk. All right, guys? So you're going to have Josh and Rich are going to trade with you guys in the morning from 9:30 to 10:30 live. I'm going to be taking the rest of you that are my students that we're going to be trading. Remember, got to learn before we could earn, traders. So there's the new cycle of phase 3. So we got today, this afternoon, and then we got tomorrow. So I'll see you all there. Who's going to join me? If not, everyone, don't go anywhere. And then we'll post that new video on YouTube that we just got, that I did last night. Good luck, everybody. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and happy trading as always.